And we're live to the Dave's Had Enough Show, episode 17. And we have a guest we haven't seen in a while. We thought he was dead, and he's still alive. How's it going, Mr. T?
Hey, fools, how you thought I was dead? You see my show.
And how's it going, vvolfflovv?
Well, Nate's here? That's pretty good, man. How are you?
And how's it going, old dirty?
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Dirty. I'm back.
Yeah, Nate is alive, everybody. He was actually, he's going to be in the podcast, but I guess he's at the hospital, not for him, for his parents. He joined in the beginning, and then he said he was at the hospital, so, but Nate's alive. Arcel faked his death, but Nate is thankful for it. He says it gained him subs and subscribers. He's ready to go. And it made him realize that people love him on YouTube.
It's a shame it has to come to that before it happens, you know?
Yeah, that's how YouTube is.
Yeah.
I don't know, we're going to be talking about Destiny, and then I guess I want to talk about the Nintendo. I guess they're doing a midnight launch for 3DS for the Super Smash Brothers. Did you know that, Mr. T?
It's the first time I'm hearing it. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're going to release it. They're going to have a midnight launch for it. So that's big news because Nintendo don't usually get midnight launches for games. Like, didn't they say with the with Mario Kart, there was people asking for a midnight launch for that, and I saw in a video, I think it was Hard8 or one of them was doing it, and the GameStop clerk pretty much said it's a kids game, and that's why they weren't doing a midnight launch. But what's the difference from Smash Brothers to? I'm just saying, I'm not calling it a kids game, but what's the difference? It's still a Nintendo. I don't see like Super Smash Brothers and then Mario Kart being a kids game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not calling it a kids game, but why are they saying that?
I don't know, because we know no kids play Call of Duty, right? It's a joke.
I don't get it.
Yeah, there's a little bias that people don't want to admit. There's some bias, but it's all good,
It says GameStop is apparently doing a midnight release for Super Smash Brothers. IGN Reader is that popular U.S. video game retailer GameStop will be holding a midnight release for the forthcoming Super Smash Brothers on the 3DS. This hasn't been officially confirmed by the company, but hopefully we'll hear something soon. Super Smash Bros. On the Nintendo 3DS will launch October 3rd, and the midnight release will take place on the 2nd. So hopefully that is true. I mean, I hope they do that with the, the regular one for the Wii U, because I'm picking that one up. I don't have a 3DS, so I won't be picking up Smash Brothers. And I never played a Smash Brothers game, so I'm pretty hyped for it.
Not only that, I hope they do one for Bayonetta 2 as well. That's what they need to do it for.
Yeah, you would think they would.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think.
Why do people need to leave at midnight, though? Like, what's the big deal? Just wait until the next day. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, I don't really care about midnight releases or launches, but it's an event, It's just one of those things that became a thing, I don't know who started it, or it's kind of like in the Super Bowl where now everybody runs out together instead of even before where just they would run out individually. But ever since I want to say the Patriots started doing it. Now in the Super Bowl, the teams run out together. So it's just one of those things that became an event, became a thing.
Kind of like sheep do on a farm.
What's that?
Kind of like sheep on a farm do.
Nice.
I mean, it's actually pretty cool. Some of the midnight launches, depending on like the game it is. I've been to 2 of them. I've been to when Halo 3 came out for the 360. I went to that one, and I went last year for NBA 2K14. So the GameStop by me had like a tournament going. They had snacks, drinks, stuff like that. So I mean, depending on what the game is, sometimes you can get a little more you know what I'm saying, tournament going, stuff like that.
It sounds like a hype fest to me.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. It's definitely a hype fest.
Which is one of the issues that we've been dealing with right now.
Well, the last one I went to, and I'm really done with midnight releases. I'm not doing them no more, because the last one I went to was Watch Dogs, and I didn't even play Watch Dogs, really. I had it. People got me where I didn't want to play the game. They said the ending sucked. The biggest part that I hate about Watch Dogs, and I know you're not supposed to compare the game to Grand Theft Auto, but it is an open world game, and one of the main features I like in Grand Theft Auto is I get to ride around in a car and shoot people. In Watch Dogs, you could not shoot out the car while you were riding, but the computer, the AI, could shoot you in a car. Does that make any sense?
Well, isn't it also like Assassin's Creed in some ways?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm just saying in a game like that where you can ride around in a car, you should be able to shoot out the car, like do drive-bys and stuff, if the computer can at least do them. You know what I'm saying?
So if you have a car and you're in an open world, then you should be able to shoot people, is what you're saying.
I want to. That's a feature that's a selling point that I didn't like about the game. Once I could do that and the people that are chasing me could shoot me and I can't shoot back at them, don't you think that's stupid?
It's kind of like you're taking away something that you, because of Grand Theft Auto, you're taking away a feature that you're used to being able to do. You know.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. I'm not comparing it. I'm just saying, like, in some ways you can compare Watch Dogs to Grand Theft Auto.
I mean, you kind of have to.
Yes. I mean, yes, the game does have like Assassin's Creed features and Splinter Cell features, but it's a lot like Grand Theft Auto. I'm sorry, I think it's more like Grand Theft Auto than anything.
They could have added an economy.
Huh?
They could have added a whole economy aspect, and as you change the demographics, it changes the economy in the world and the stock market and things like that. They could have added that in there, no doubt.
Oh, I'm saying that I just want shooting. I didn't want an economy. I wanted to shoot out my car. But
I mean, people would have an impact. Who knows?
Well, then the thing was, they said that he is a vigilante, and vigilantes, I guess, don't shoot out cars at people. That's what their excuse was, because he's a vigilante, he don't do that. And the game developers, Ubisoft, specifically made it where he couldn't shoot out the car. I thought it was something they left out. But no, they said he's a vigilante, and vigilantes, I guess, don't shoot out cars.
Well, they don't shoot out cars. He shoot them standing outside the car.
No, they just dress up as bats and drive their tanks through other people's cars.
I don't know. That was the mid. I stood online for Watch Dogs. Didn't even really play the game. Was very disappointed with Watch Dogs. Even bought the season. But I'm saying after every midnight launch, most of the time too, when I get the game, I'm so damn tired by the time I get home, because they make, like GameStop where I live, they make you stand online at 10 o'clock. Like, if you're not there at 10, you have to, like, argue with them to, because they want to finalize your paperwork. Like, they'll get all bitchy with you if you go there, like, right at 12. They don't like that. They want you there usually before 10. So I'm not going to, like, sit there and start stuff with them. I just go at 10 o'clock. But by the time I get home, I'm just not even wanting to play the game, because most of the time I got to go to work at 7 in the morning. So what I do now is I digitally download the game, so I get it right at 12 usually. If it's a game I really want, and I know I'm going to keep, not trade in, I get to play it right at 12 o'clock. It like preloads, so that works out great. But I'm not standing in line at GameStop no more. That's just me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But pretty much another bit of news since we brought up Watch Dogs. Has anybody seen any footage of the Wii U's version of Watch Dogs?
No. Short answer.
It's messed up.
I mean, are they wanting you
having,
to that mind, or they just want you to buy it and just hope it looks good?
I guess so. I mean, it's supposed to come out in November 21st or something like that, and we haven't seen a screenshot. We haven't seen any gameplay. We haven't seen anything. And this is the stuff that Wii U owners are talking about. While we get upset, about how third-party treat us. They expect us to just go out and buy their games because I don't know. They figure we're starving and we'll take anything. So.
Hasn't this been happening since the very beginning of the Wii U's life? Pretty much, right?
Well, they did it with Assassin's Creed, I think. With Black Flag 4, they didn't show anything to that, did they?
Yeah, they don't promote their games at all for the most part on a Nintendo console.
It's like third party's a lost cause now for the Wii U, really.
It seems like it, yes.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, to me,
yeah,
I see it as I see the Wii U as a place where you can get those titles that you can't get anywhere else. It's a unique experience. So you're going there, you're going to get really good, top-notch first-party titles. So that's what draws you into the Wii U. At this point, why? It's almost like Destiny. Why focus on the things? See, Destiny focused on tried to please everybody, but they didn't really focus on one thing. Why not just focus on what you're good at and leave it at that at this point? But then at the same time, people, they want to complain because gamers are fucking so fucking babies this generation. It's only been a year, not even been a year, and people are already bitching. All they do is bitch.
And they don't play any games. They just cry about them.
No, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, people should be fucking excited right now. There's insane games on the horizon right now. I'm super hyped up.
I'm super hyped.
So
Like,
the next thing, what's your most anticipated games of the rest of the year, pretty much?
This year, I have to, right off the top of my head, Dragon Age Origins. Bam, there you go. But, Bayonetta?
Yeah, I have to agree. Bayonetta 2 for right now, because the game I'm most anticipating, it probably won't come out to next year, and that's Rainbow Six, The Siege. So right now it's those two games, but Bayonetta being this year.
What's yours, Mr. T?
It's funny that you said this because shout out to Active Game of Life. He has a little community on Google Plus, and he asked what were people looking forward to. So we all kind of made a list. I'm gonna just read my list real quick, if you don't mind. For Wii U, it's Hyrule Warriors, Bayonetta 2+1, I call it, because it's got one in there. On the eShop front, I'm looking at Teslagrad, Stealth 2, Affordable Space Adventures, and back to Wii U itself, Amiibo. I'm getting all 12 of them because I'm crazy like that when they drop. Smash Wii U, obviously, and maybe Sonic Boom. I don't know yet. Still don't know about that. On the 3DS front, we got Smash. I'm getting that on both. So I'm getting Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, Omega Ruby, and Azure Strike or Gunvolt. And last but not least, on Xbox One, Sunset Overdrive. Really looking forward to that. Getting that Halo Master Chief Collection and Forza Horizon 2. So that's my list for the holiday.
Can I interrupt?
Go ahead.
What do you know about the Sunset Overdrive, that game? What really is drawing you to that game?
The fact that it doesn't take itself overly serious. I like I love the fluidity of just moving around in the world. Even it felt really jet grind radio to me. You know.
Okay.
And it's quirky. It almost feels like it could have been on a Nintendo game, a console to me. Obviously, I love the art style. Like I said, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It just looks like a fun, open world game, and that's why I'm looking for it. And the developer. God, I always mix them up. I always want to say, what's the developer's name? Used to be PlayStation first party. Oh my God! I always
Insomniac, is it?
Yeah, Insomniac. Thank you. Insomniac Games, and I always like their games. They're the ones that drew me to Sony consoles in the first place. their games. So yeah, they're pretty solid.
They made Resistance Fall of Man, right?
Say what?
Resistance Fall of Man. Did they make that?
Yeah, they made
Yeah,
those.
they made that one. Yes, I didn't care for those games.
Yeah, I hated them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you know they're getting back to what they're really good at, making more cartoony styled, you know, just fun, you know, games. So I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, playing that game. It looks a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's up there on my list too. So I mean, I want to see more gameplay of it, but it still looks pretty. It looks like it has potential.
Yeah.
that's a game I definitely want when I pick up the Xbox One and the Halo Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
So far, and even including Killer Instinct, because I'm a big fan of Killer Instinct, and I still have both games for the NES and N64. So I have to get that on the Xbox One just to try it out, because I hear it comes with I guess if you buy the full package, or however they got it broken up the way you buy characters, if you buy the full package, you actually get Killer Instinct 1, the arcade edition. So that's pretty cool to go back and play the original arcade look and feel of the original.
Hey, a couple honorable mentions. If you're a Lords of the Ring fan, you got that Assassin's Creed Shadow of Mordor. And then there's this game called Lords of the Fallen. I kept forgetting the name of it, but it's another Dark Souls, basically. It looks like another Dark Souls. So people are sleeping on that one. Just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I forgot about Shadow of Mordor. I'm still kind of waiting to see the reaction of that, see what that, you know, because it's EA. So.
There's hey, before we move on, since you like games with their own kind of unique art style, check out a game called Oliver and Spike. It's kind of like Brothers, Two Sons, but only you're going through parallel dimensions. You're switching between each dimension, so it looks like it has pretty cool potential, man.
Oliver and Spike?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check
I
that
think
out.
I like that.
Oh, mine on Wii U side, I've been waiting forever for it. I'm gonna get it. Watch Dogs. No, I'm just kidding.
Stop playing.
You know what? I didn't purchase Watch Dogs for the PS3 or my 360, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait for the Wii U version, because I thought it was gonna be maybe like a month. You know what I'm saying? Because they said they want to integrate with the Game Pass. So I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure they can come up with some cool ideas with hacking and all that. But we done moved from, what, 6 to 7 months now. So it's like, if I really want to play this game, I might as well go pick it up for the 360 for like $19.
Right.
And the PS4 for like $30. I'm like, you really shot yourself in the foot, Ubisoft, and you talking about that Nintendo fans don't buy third-party or play mature games. You held the game back for 7 months, and then don't show anything, and then say, "Oh yeah, Watch Dogs coming out November 18th. Pick it up."
For
okay,
$60.
Right, for $60, and I'm pretty sure there ain't gonna be no DLC in it.
Right.
It might be missing multiplayer. So it's like you ain't telling nothing, and I still want to play the game. So I'll probably just pick it up for the PS4. You know what I'm saying? When it hit, $20 or
Exactly.
$10 in the bargain bin, and call it a day.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was holding out too.
One thing. I've said this before, and I'm not making this up when I say this. I swear to God in the Holy Bible. It was around the time they showed off Watch Dogs. I think it was like 2 E3s ago. It was a little after E3. They had videos up on YouTube of the Wii U version of Watch Dogs.
Whoa.
And when he was playing, the character itself, the main guy, he looked kind of like all good, like the PS4 version, the Xbox One version. But when you looked around the whole scenery and they were driving the car and shit, it looked all dull. It looked terrible. And there was these like British people in the background talking in English. Just talk going on. You could hear them talking, or they were some kind of foreign language, like foreign people talking in English though. And they were just like down in the game. But then all of a sudden, those two videos, I seen two videos, pretty much the same videos, same people, and I'm talking. They were taken off the internet. They were gone. They were off YouTube.
Whoa! Check the Internet Archives.
So I don't know. I swear I seen those 2 videos because I actually how I found them. It was on somebody I followed. I can't remember exactly who it was. He like liked the video, and I looked at the version, and it just everything around it was very dull. Like it was just like I don't know. Maybe somebody made it as a troll video. Can they do that? Make a game look worse than it is? Like and say this is the Wii U version? I don't know. But those videos were gone. I don't know. And then we have not. I have since then I haven't seen a damn thing on Watch Dogs for the Wii U, but them just announcing that it's coming still, and then we finally just got a release date.
You know, I
like you said, they could do so much with the gamepad. It wouldn't even be funny, but it's a little late now. I think they burned.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be. Since this is the thing, it wouldn't be late to me because they're just like Dirty said. Like there's plenty of us Wii U owners who waited out for this game. There's still a bunch of dudes that I talk to now that are looking forward to buying it on Wii U. So we're still out here. Like I'd pay $50-$60 even if you showed me, if you gave me the DLC, and if you showed me some real cool stuff with the gamepad, like you talked about in the beginning, and the graphics were, you know, not PS3 and 360, but somewhere in between that and PS4. If you somewhere in between there, like we'd still be on board for that. But you're not showing any. You're not showing any screenshots. We don't have any gameplay footage. The game's coming out in a month and a half, and we have none of that. That screams to me that this is going to be some shoddy port again. You know?
Yeah.
They're just trying to make whatever money they can make off it because they were so far into development anyway. They had to finish it. So they're just going to try to make.
I think the reason I'm saying that, you know, nobody really cares anymore is when they come out and they say, hey, we're not doing no mature games. This is our last one. Ubisoft just comes out and says all that. So obviously it's just showing they don't really give a shit.
Right. I mean,
they're going to give you the game.
I'm glad you said
going to be like.
That point, that's the perfect, like, what was that supposed to, as a Nintendo fan, a Wii U owner, what was that supposed to do when I heard that? Make me think, oh man, I gotta go out and buy this game now. Like, is that what it's saying? Like, what kind of business?
That's why I'm saying the anticipation level has to be low when they're coming out saying they're dropping mature games and they're not going to want. That just shows the developer don't even give a fuck about mature games.
Yeah, I was just saying if they hadn't said all that, and then they did what I just said that they did, and then they actually started promoting the game on Wii U. But after them saying that, and after us not having any screenshots, I mean, that's that. I've never seen. Like, it's one thing to like not want to, you know, financially put your games on Wii U because you feel like, you know, they're not gonna sell. I have no problem with that. Come out and say that. So just say that, you know. But when you start making up crap like Dance Dance, or no, it's not Dance Dance Revolution, that Just Dance sells better when we know Zombie U sold 3 times better than Just Dance on Wii U. I mean, now you're just lying, you know? And like, to me, that's just poor business. Like, that's a poor business practice.
It was poor business. You don't do that. No. I don't know.
But they're still going to turn around and complain that when it don't sell, they're going to be like, oh, geez. You know, they're going to still complain about it.
Which is a joke. It's like...
But I wouldn't buy it. I mean, unless it, you know, and even the season pass, if they don't get that, they ain't missing much, because I guess they did announce some new DLC of, like, maybe some story DLC, but I bought the season pass, and I did play the season pass, and it was horrible. The only cool thing about it was it had, like, an alien mode, or not an alien mode, like a Terminator mode or something, where they all come at you. It was kind of fun to play, and then they had a spider mode, but it was definitely not worth $20. You know, not at all. The online, to me, Watch Dogs was horrible. And it was more annoying than anything. Like, when you're playing Watch Dogs, they keep trying to hack your game. So you can click on it, or I think you can shut it off. But I didn't go into looking how to shut the damn thing off. But people constantly keep wanting to hack you while you're playing. And it just gets old. Like, you just got to spot them out of the crowd. It's a cool feature for, like, 10 minutes. And then after that, it's old. It's like, okay, I get the point of this. Now it's just stupid. But
It's probably tacked on.
yeah, the way that they put that online was going to be, it was going to be like groundbreaking, and it's horrible. It was even the team, if you want to call it team deathmatch, was like something like capture the you have to like decode something and like more like it reminded me of like something like capture the flag or something, like get the thing and run with it. And it was just like the guns when you shot people, they were so unbalanced. I just didn't like it. To me, this is just my experience with it. I didn't even play the multiplayer after that. I hated it. And then they had like an open world part of it that was just boring. It was boring. Nothing you're missing if it doesn't. Like I'm saying to anybody that's watching this video, if the season pass doesn't come to the Wii U version for Watch Dogs, you're not missing nothing.
Well, you see, with the versions, I see Mizzah T, you were saying you were calling third party, and that kind of made me think like, that sounds a little ignorant, like fanboy kind of lingo.
Well, that didn't come from me. I was just using what Super
Oh,
said.
okay. Well, here's the thing: is like when I look at these third parties and what you guys are getting, I can see why it would seem. I mean, I can see exactly why you would call it that, because that's what it is for you guys right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
and when I say third, I'm not talking about all third parties.
Mhm.
I'm specifically talking about these assholes.
Yeah. I hear you, man.
There is a lot of, like I look at both sides of the fence of like what third parties say, both sides. I always look at both sides of everything, and I can see why people be upset, and I can see why maybe third party don't want to do it. There's so many reasons, but it's till like they come out and publicly say, hey, we're not doing it, because of this. But I guess Ubisoft did in a way. What are they saying, that there's not enough sales? Did that come out of Ubisoft's own mouth? Or
they said that, but then that's not the truth. That's the problem. Like they said that, we want Just Dance, but Zombie U sold 3 times as much as Just Dance. So that's just a bold-faced lie, Like I said, I'll never have a problem with a company saying, we don't like the the install base isn't right, even though that's hilarious because Xbox One's install base is less, and they're still getting more. But anyway, they want to say, this and this and that is the reason we won't do it. Fine. Just don't give me shoddy ports, right? Don't give me shoddy ports and be mad when I don't buy those shoddy ports. That's all I'm saying. Like, if you gave me a game that's on par with the other systems and they don't sell, then you can be upset. I have no problem with that. I'd be upset right along with you. I'd be like, hey, Nintendo fan, what's up with that? So, but when you give us less and expect more from us, that's when I have a problem with you. That's when I have a problem.
So do you think third party will ever jump on board again with the Wii U, or they're going to wait till the next Nintendo console, or are they ever going to go to Nintendo again for home consoles third party?
Yeah, I mean, unless the Wii U somehow sells. Well, I don't know. I can't even say that because I was gonna say if somehow the Wii U sells astronomically and that you can't ignore the install base. But hey, third parties are ignoring 3DS's install base. So
yeah, it doesn't matter.
So it's just like I don't know. They just there's just a thing with Nintendo they can't get with. Like it's funny. It's funny for them to say they can't compete on Nintendo. That what kind of business would come out and basically say, well, we can't compete? Like, then you're not a business. That's what you're supposed to do.
I'm not trying to throw any shots or anything, but didn't Nintendo come out and say that they weren't going to they can't or they won't compete with Sony or?
No, what they were saying, they were saying they couldn't compete. They were not going to try to compete on the level of the exclusivity deals and all that stuff. That's what they were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. Nintendo can get third party back. The companies are all
have to spend money for it.
That's my opinion.
That's what it boils down to, I think. Money.
Right.
It will. If you got money, you can make things happen.
It does. It comes down to money, and I've been saying this, since the Wii U came out. I'm like, Nintendo's not giving money to third parties. Third party knows this. Sony and Microsoft knows this. So if you got 2 companies that's giving you money, and you a company, and I come to you, vvolfflovv, and be like, hey, vvolfflovv, you know what? I want this game, you know what I'm saying, Destiny, you know, on my console. Matter of fact, here goes some money in your pocket to give me DLC first before Microsoft. Now here come Microsoft. Microsoft say, you know what? We like that game. We like what we see of Destiny, your idea. We want that game on Xbox. You like, cool, okay, we can do that. And then they come to you, well, we want DLC. Well, we already made a deal with Sony. Okay, fine, long as we get the game. Now here come Nintendo. Hey, Bungie, we like that game. We think Nintendo fans will love it. You think we can get that game? Maybe. What can you give us? Microsoft and Sony already gave us some. What can you give us? Well,
yeah, I don't think Nintendo is even reaching.
What we can give you is, you know, you could put innovation on the gamepad. You know what I'm saying? And Nintendo fans will come out and buy it, and that's money in your pocket right there. And they look at it as, hell no. They gave us money. You're not going to get it. So until you give us money, you'll get Destiny, and that's how these companies look at it.
Right.
And,
and that's what they mean by Nintendo is behind the times. When they say they're behind the times, they mean that Nintendo thinks that it's, you know, still Super Nintendo era where they didn't have to do that stuff. That now third party is in control of the industry. Let's just face it, they are.
Who knows?
And you know, to me, that's not good. You know, and it's bearing out in this exclusivity crap, which is hurting gamers everywhere. You know, it's hurting gaming.
Yeah, who knows what kind of deals are going on. Even Microsoft and Sony could be giving them extra money just to, you know, kind of write certain things off. Like, don't go to these other guys. Stick with us. Who knows?
Microsoft can't even advertise the damn game on their console.
Oh yeah, the advertising. Exclusive.
So there's so much, you know, nuance in this exclusivity stuff now that it's hurting gaming overall. It's just not good for gamers, and it's just not good for the industry.
Yeah, I see that all the time, and people kind of get all edgy when other games don't come to consoles or when they come to consoles. And you know what? I mean, a good game should be shared. More people, more audience. You should want it to get out to different people and get it, especially if it's a great game like Bayonetta. That's why I like Operation Platinum, because they're actually putting it out there, and whether or not they make it cool.
It's going to be a good game on their console? Like,
yeah,
is that what it is maybe? Nintendo after them because they don't think Nintendo owners will buy the game, so they don't even bother with it to begin with?
I think it'll sell all right. And hey, they supported the project. So
no, I'm talking about like Destiny and all these games that are Wii U. Do you think Nintendo don't even see them games selling on the Wii U? That's why they don't even bother to reach out and try to get them?
But see,
that's a good point too.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point. But here's the problem that I have with that thinking. Yes, if you were a Mass Effect fan and you bought Mass Effect 1 and 2, you didn't buy that on a Wii. You know, so you ain't checking for Mass Effect 3 on Wii U. You know what I'm saying? So you haven't cultivated an audience for your game on the Nintendo console. So you can't expect people just to jump in droves and buy that game right away. You know what I'm saying? You have to cultivate that audience first. So you do that by giving them a great product, not by giving them a shoddy feature cut product. Like they gave us Mass Effect 3 without the DLC and all this stuff, and at the same time, they gave everybody else Mass Effect Trilogy, you know, for the same price. And like Nintendo fans are like, I'm not buying Mass Effect 3.
And that's what
game without the DLC when you giving everybody else all the whole package. Like that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, and I wish I could just, you know what I'm saying, just ask EA and Ubisoft like what was y'all thinking when y'all was sitting in the conference room to be like, you know what, we're bringing out a trilogy for the PS3 and 360, but you know what, the Wii U, let's just give them 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Yeah, exactly. What was y'all thinking when y'all was sitting at the table?
Yeah, like, look at Bayonetta 2. Look at Bayonetta 2.
I know what they were thinking.
Nintendo fans wanted Bayonetta 1.
I know what they were thinking.
It was Bayonetta 1, so because we're not used to that franchise. We're not used to that, that IP, and they're putting it in, and they put a lot of work into it. It's not just some quick port. If you
Yes, they take pride in their work for sure.
So
Hey, can y'all hear me?
they had done that.
I don't know.
Yeah. We hear you, Nate.
Sorry,
y'all hear me?
I didn't hear you, Dave.
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you
I'll
see
tell you
the
exactly what
comparison
EA was
video?
Which-
Bayonetta 1
no.
360 for the Wii U.
No, you
Like
know what?
they're comparing the
I
Wii U
know.
version and that 360.
It's
I
a
see
port, basically.
I seen the headline, but I didn't click on it because to me it's like I don't need to see the comparison between the old 360 version and the Wii U version. You know what I'm saying? I know that the 360 version wasn't locked 60 frames per second, that it dropped some frames here and there while playing because I played that version of the 360, and I'm pretty sure the Wii U is going to be the same way if they don't lock it at 60 frames per second. But
No, I don't. Yeah, it is a port of the 360 game. What I'm saying is there's added content in there.
right.
There is I call it cosplay. You get to wear Samus outfits, all that stuff. It's not just a skin either. It actually adds to her abilities. Like she can do. She can use basically the powers of Samus when she's wearing the Samus costume. She can use, her Samus's gun. And she can do the morph ball and all that stuff. It's not just
I'm
a
in the
costume.
hangout, man.
They've added stuff.
Right.
They've added stuff to the old game. Yeah, I'm not talking about. I don't care about that. I'm talking.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, they can just give us the same. And I have a problem with that. Give us that same game, but they didn't. They could have just done that, but they added stuff to it as well.
Can y'all hear me?
Mechanics as well. That's amazing. They've added mechanics. You don't see that
Hello,
much
can y'all hear me?
with added on content.
Right.
Yeah, Nate, we hear you. Well, I hear you.
Well,
I don't hear
can
you.
I ask? Y'all don't hear me?
I don't hear you, Nate. You have to drop it
I might have-
in and I can't just you just gotta do that.
Yeah, the rest of the guys
Okay.
don't hear you, Nate. Yeah, drop out and come.
I don't hear you. And that will fix it.
I hear a little kid in the background. He's losing that video game.
Yeah, sorry, that's little T in the background.
Okay, now can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
Awesome. First off,
What's up,
Mizzah T, before I get into what I wanted to say, I want to say I have no beef with you. I just, honest to God, my video where I said take a seat. You'll notice I said take a seat, not have a seat. I was trying to be respectful, and what my point I wanted to make was, I just couldn't believe as much third party as you've got throughout all your library, even across all the different systems. I just couldn't believe that you really don't care about third party support on the Wii U. Now, if I'm wrong on that, I'm wrong on that.
Okay, well, first of all, you missed my point completely. I never said I didn't care about third party support on Wii U. I said third parties, and I'm talking specific third parties. Second of all, the third party games that you saw in my video are from the 6th gen or before. And what I said, if you watch the video, is that I'm not as excited for third party games. I never said I didn't want third party support on Wii U. You never heard me say that. So
Okay.
a lot of people jumped the gun and heard what they wanted to hear
Well,
and didn't hear what I said.
All right, I'll say this. It's not that you said it, Mr. T, but it's whatever you know how fanboys are. In every console has their fanboys, right?
Mhm.
You got PlayStation fanboys, you got Microsoft fanboys, and you got Nintendo fanboys.
Mhm.
The Nintendo fanboys, when they see you do like you do for the Wii U, same way I did, they latch onto that and they use that as, yeah, we're sticking it to them. We're not going to support third party. You know what I'm saying? And that's
No, because I think they understand what I was saying. They understood.
I'm not sure enough.
I only had a few people that.
You said you would.
Oh, we got another conversation.
That's $100 bill and $1. You said you get it.
Okay.
You damn well did. Anyway, hey, now I'm going to ask a question, all right? And I'm not trolling when I ask this. This is me being a gamer and asking a question. When are Nintendo fans, when are the gamers that prefer the Nintendo platform? Because I am one of those. I would love to build a game on a Nintendo platform and feel like if I didn't have any other platform, I would still be happy as a kid in a candy store. You know what I mean? When are Nintendo gamers going to start getting as mad at Nintendo as they get at third party for giving, you know how we get mad at third party for giving us shoddy ports and missing DLC and this and that? Well, I think we ought to be getting mad at Nintendo right now for putting out a system that whenever you look at the fact that now the new Disney Infinity game that's going to be coming is running at less resolution than even the PS3 and 360 version, there is a problem here. And I know what the hardware is, and I know it should be able to do more, but nothing is adding up anymore. And I'm really starting to wonder, I mean, should we not be getting mad at Nintendo as Nintendo gamers for giving us a shoddy system and not giving us something that is actually in step with the rest of the industry?
Well, see, for Nintendo fans, it's hard to get mad. Like, okay, let me answer this real quick.
Nate, this is Tony. I'm just kidding.
Let me answer you real quick. All right. I guess you can get mad at Nintendo for not making a console that is in line with the other consoles, like making a console that's basically what's the PC hardware? What's the architecture called?
x86.
x86, right? I guess you can get mad at. I guess you can get mad at them for not making a console that's like that, and it makes it easier to port and do all that stuff. But we have the Wii U. I mean, we can get mad all we want. This is what we have right now. But I would like to get mad at them for allowing third parties to do that, to not put in the extra effort, whatever it is. I don't know how minimal or how big it is to make the game on par, at least with last gen systems as far as the resolution goes. But I feel like Nintendo was between a rock and a hard place. Because they can say, well, hey, we want this game to be up on par with the other systems, and the third party be like, well, this is what we're going to give you. You can take this or get nothing. And because Nintendo was not in a position of
all I wanted was that one.
Of power where they can say, well, hey, you got to do it. They're no longer in that position anymore because third parties have other options.
Well, you know what?
There's
a simple solution, guys. Instead of getting mad at Nintendo or pushing them to spend more of their money, their limited income, on these titles that won't sell that well, they could actually buy another console and play these games. An idea.
And not have to get mad at all.
Yeah, you can do that. You can just play games, and you wouldn't even have to get mad and complain on the internet.
No, see, just a second. Here's the thing. You gotta understand. I'm not trolling the Wii U when I ask that question, right? I like the Wii U. I like the idea of the Wii U. I like the second gamepad experience that the Wii U brings. What I don't like is the fact that they put out a system that is not going to get certain games that are coming this now current generation, that if it could actually handle those games fully and to the point that developers would feel like it's worth it their time to put it on there, then the gamepad would bring that second generation experience. I mean, when I play, like right now, I'm loving Destiny. Do you realize that Destiny with the gamepad would be completely epic? You would never have to pause the screen just to switch weapons. You could switch weapons right there on the fly in the middle of a battle, and it would be so awesome to be able to do that with the second screen experience. But because Nintendo made the Wii U what it is, and we're stuck with it, we're never going to see Destiny on there because they're not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, hell, it's on PS3 360. It should be on Wii U. But in light of Disney's Infinity game, being at a less resolution than even last gen consoles, I really wonder what the hell the problem is. I mean,
bruh, check this out. I mean, not too long ago, you were touting about the Wii U specs and how good they were. Not very long ago, yourself. This is the.
Did I not say that I know the specs, but something's not adding up?
But this,
did I not say?
Yeah, but listen. This is what's not adding up. Not too long ago, maybe 2 years ago, even not even 2 years ago, we had Ubisoft and we had EA, and they were on stage talking about we're bringing this and this and this and this and this and that. They knew what the specs were then, and they were still bringing this and this and this and this and this and that. So this isn't about power, okay? This isn't about hardware. This is about.
Oh, no, it's politics.
Right. This is about politics. Exactly. Because they knew what the hardware was a long time ago, before we did. So this isn't about that. This is about politics. This is about third parties' power.
I don't know if you guys remember, but I remember reading it might have been on IGN. It was a website right before, maybe a year before PS4 and X1 was about to launch. They wasn't going to have that much RAM in their system. They was actually going to have just 4 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, that's what everybody thought. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess for you to do all this multitask and record this, share that, Twitch, Hulu, all this, they needed more RAM. So they had to integrate more RAM into their console. If these consoles wasn't doing all what it does now to connect, 2.0 and the camera and all that, you probably would just have 4 gigs of RAM. That's it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to lie. I like the fact I can live stream on my PS4. I did that. They had actually a very successful live stream today.
That was
streaming Destiny.
Yeah, I think his point is that the games that they were expected to have out, before all the features and stuff, they weren't going to be going above using 3 or 4 gigs of RAM. So.
And Nintendo knew that.
Right.
Nintendo knew that. That's why Nintendo said that, we won't be left behind. It'll be almost, on par with those consoles. But then they added more RAM. You know what I'm saying? Because they wanted the consoles to do, more than just, play Blu-rays and you know what I'm saying, and play games online. They want to go even further. So that's why you needed the extra 4 gigs of RAM that they added. But Nintendo had already knew. Developers already knew. Ubisoft, Activision, and EA, when they got on stage and praised the Wii U and said, okay, look at what Battlefield can do on the Wii U and the gamepad. Look how Madden will look, in HD on Nintendo console for the first time with just a clear screen with nothing on screen but just gameplay. You know what I'm saying? It was mind-boggling. But now all of a sudden I want to know what happened in between. Oh yeah, this is what we're bringing to the Wii U. To now we ain't bringing nothing because Nintendo don't play mature games.
Right. This is not about power. This is because we had Call of Duty on the Wii. You know what I'm saying? If they wanted to do it, they could do it. These games that we're talking about are still on current or last gen consoles. Destiny is still on PS3. So, and PS3 is one of the hardest to build for, architecture-wise, for us making games for. So you can't tell me it's a power thing. It's not that.
Everything these guys go up on stage and talk about, you got to read between the lines.
Read between the lines.
That's all there is to it.
I'm planning on getting the Wii U. Hopefully, I'll have it by the time Bayonetta 2 comes out because I'm not missing Bayonetta 2. That's my baby, Kwame Chu called it right. He said, you might get rid of that third Wii U, but I guarantee you'll have it back by the time Bayonetta 2 comes out. And he knows me better than anybody out there.
I guarantee you a lot of the people that buy Bayonetta are going to be in for a rude awakening when they get their ass handed to them. It's fucking hard, man.
Yeah, if you're not a Nintendo fan, Wii U should be a good complementary console for you.
Yeah.
Well, I am a Nintendo fan. Now,
No. I'm saying to people who aren't Nintendo fans. If you're a gamer, if you're a gamer and you're not buying a Wii U, I I kind of question your game.
I'm getting the Wii U also, but I'm getting the Wii U also because of the fact that Star Fox is coming. They're already working on a new Metroid. They're already, they showed that freaking awesome Zelda.
Zelda looks amazing. I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles X looks amazing. I mean, come on. If you're not it kills me when Nintendo fans get called fanboy. Oh, you guys don't care about this and this and that. Well, you don't care about what's going on over here, and yet you're still more of a gamer than me. Like, you don't care about Xenoblade Chronicles X. That's fine that you don't care about that. That's fine that you don't care about Zelda. For these dudes, for me to say I don't care about Assassin's Creed, oh, that's sacrilegious. But you can say you can say
hell, I halfway care. I halfway don't give a shit about Assassin's Creed. I'll be honest.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's
you were just telling me last night you were getting Assassin's Creed Unity.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it, but I'm just saying it's not.
Oh, I was just joking.
Okay.
Yeah, all I said was I'm not excited. Like, I'm not as excited as I used to be for third-party games, that's gonna stay until they make me excited again. We got Destiny.
Yeah, I don't blame a Nintendo fan being upset about I don't blame a Nintendo fan not wanting third-party on their console if they're gonna give them shitty ports all the time. But
right.
The gamer
don't even give me the game. It's gonna be a shoddy port. Don't even give it to us. We don't want it.
But see, like how Nintendo fans are, you know what I'm saying? You give us, shitty ports, and you take away stuff. We're not gonna buy it.
Right.
But I think more gamers, you know what I'm saying? Even I don't care if you're an Xbox fanboy, a Sony fanboy. Don't let these companies just throw out games that's half-assed, that's not complete. Need multiple patches. You know what I'm saying, to make the game work. That's what we should be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. T, did you see my video talking about Fatal Frame Wii U that's coming out this month in Japan?
Yeah, you were upset about it not coming to U.S.
Yeah, why isn't it not? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but would you buy Fatal Frame if it was coming out this month on the Wii U after seeing what they showed? I mean, that game is exactly what gamers like me and you and other gamers have been wanting on the Nintendo platform.
That's another reason for me to buy one.
But
for some reason, there's a disconnect that only the East wants it, not the West. I don't understand it.
But why don't you think? I mean, there's still a chance it's coming. I believe it's still coming. But Nintendo is a business. You know what I'm saying? They have.
Well, let me ask you this.
To look at their other games and the schedules for their other games. You have to say, hey. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you this, Mr. T. Do you think if Nintendo was to reorganize how they do their releases to where they, instead of treating each section of Nintendo, meaning European side, the Japanese side, the North American side, the Australian side, whatever, instead of treating them like completely autonomous sections, what if, when it comes to games like Fatal Frame and those major releases that they bring to Japan, why don't they make it to where they come out simultaneously across all regions at the same time, instead of telling European and American gamers that they have to wait a year for the translation to come through?
Wait a second.
What?
Like, you can say that about any company, man.
I was gonna say everybody does that.
I mean, especially Sony's the worst for that, dude. They have like hundreds of games coming out in Japan.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
coming over here.
Everybody does that. I mean, the only difference is that the game isn't region locked. But I don't speak Japanese, so I don't care about playing a game that I can't understand, that I can't halfway understand.
I'd rather wait for it.
Right.
The American version of Fatal Frame, right?
I believe it's coming. Like, they haven't said it yet, but this is what I think Nintendo was trying to go towards, is making these games come out more timely. This is part of them. This is why they a lot of the reasons why they merged the Wii U and the 3DS. Those people are working together now. I think you will see even more 3DS games that get the Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate treatment. Like you'll get a 3DS version, but you'll also get a Wii U version. I think that's.
I want to know when we're going to get a freaking Pokemon Wii U that's an actual Pokemon open world RPG like the freaking 3DS and Game Boy version.
Cheers for that.
I'd like to see that.
Hell,
too,
for that matter, it would be epic is if they came out with a Pokemon Wii U with full online multiplayer, like an MMO-like experience where you go out in the in an MMO setting online looking for Pokemon, battling other players inside gyms and everything, but on the Wii U and not instead of just on the handheld.
It'll get there, Nate. Sell you every version along the way, probably.
I feel like we're turning this into a Nintendo podcast.
Well, I was just asking. I'll shut up.
Oh no, I don't care. It don't bother me. We're still gonna talk about Destiny. I'm just waiting.
Oh, I got some words to say. I got some things to say about Destiny too.
Oh. All right, now let's get back. We're gonna go all the way back. We're gonna go back to anticipated games. Like everybody said, there's. Nate, what's your anticipated games for 2000?
Most anticipated?
For this year, the end of this year.
For the end of this year, I would have to say first off. Order 1886. Looking forward to that. Did that get bumped to 2015? I thought it was coming out this holiday.
It's coming out in February, I think.
February. I need to go out to the garage in a minute anyway. Anyway, but as far as so just this year only. Bayonetta 2 is number one on the list. That's for damn sure. After that, it would have to be The Evil Within and Call of Duty. What the hell is it called?
Advanced Warfare.
Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, Advanced Warfare.
Advanced
Warfare. Hey, you know what? It keeps jacking me up because personally I'm pissed off at Activision for even using that name because there was already a game called Advanced Warfighter and it was called Ghost Recon.
Yeah.
They stole the freaking name.
Activision's Activision, man. Wow. What about you?
As far as Destiny's concerned, you know what? I did a live stream. I don't know if y'all, Dave, did you watch the live stream? Because I didn't ever see you comment. Did you ever see it today?
Yeah, I watched the live stream. We're not on Destiny yet.
I thought you already talked about it. Okay, I'll shut up.
We were going to ask Lavon about his most anticipated game.
We asked Lavon about his anticipated games, then I was going to move into Destiny. Are you there, Lavon? No, I guess Lavon's not there. Well, I'll just say mine real quick.
Oh, we see you.
Lavon.
Hello.
Are you there?
Yeah.
What's your most anticipated games of 2014?
Oh God, that's a tough one. It will be Bayonetta 2, Super Smash Brothers, or Skylanders Trap.
Skylanders.
Well, if you like
I'm about to give that game a try.
You ain't no Skylanders fool.
Well, what you got there? Explain.
I ain't never played it. I just said I'll have to give that game a try if it's actually that good.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I hear you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Bob Saget's in here? I didn't know that.
Hi, Mr.
What's up, fools?
Hello.
Oh, it's dropping back in.
Is that it, Yvonne?
Well,
Is that all the games you're anticipating for?
Well, I mean, I am getting a PS4 in there this year, so maybe that could change.
Okay. Alright, mine are for the Wii U. I would have to say Bayonetta and Super Smash Brothers. And then I don't know when the Devil's Third's coming out, so if that comes out this year, which I don't think it is coming out next year. If it comes this year, it'll be this year. PS4's Evil Within, Grand Theft Auto 5, and guess that's about it. I mean,
Jeez, I forgot to mention
that's
Grand
about
Theft
it.
Auto 5.
Yeah, that's about it.
Didn't that game come out last year?
Well,
Yeah, it might have came out last
How you gonna be excited for Grand Theft Auto 5, fools?
because I only played about 2 hours of it. I didn't get to finish it.
30 player online. That's all I'm happy.
Hey, you know what, T? You just brought up a good subject. Can I bring a subject to the floor?
Yeah, bring it to the table.
I notice a lot. There's like a mixed bag of opinions when it comes to the remastered games that have been coming lately. When it comes to coming out for PS4 and stuff. Here's the thing I look at when it comes to remastered games. The last 2 years of the 7th generation, it saw games that when they came out were running very subpar to what they should have been running if they would have been just held back until to the 8th generation. For instance, take Crysis 3, for instance. It was running in the mid-20s on PS3 and Xbox 360. Never really got above 30. It was pretty much running around 20, 21, 22 frames per second at a very substandard resolution. I would love to see Crysis 3, even though I've already got it on PC, you can run it at 60 frames a second, 1080p. I would love to see it come out for PS4 and Xbox One at 1080p, 60 frames a second. Games that were running very poorly, such as Grand Theft Auto 5, it ran in the 20s. Sometimes it would run at 30, but it ran between 20 and 30 frames a second. Didn't have all the bells and whistles turned on. When it comes out this November for PS4 and Xbox One, it's going to be a complete... It may be the same exact game story-wise. It's going to be a completely different experience visually. Now, some gamers, they rebel whenever the only thing you're getting is just better visuals. But in this instance, when it comes to certain games like Grand Theft Auto 5, and more than likely in October, Sony's supposed to be announcing the Uncharted collection, totally remastered, 1 through 3 plus Golden Assists. At least that's what the rumor mill's putting out, and it's looking more and more credible every day. These games, whenever remastered, brought in full 1080p with updated visuals, makes it be what it should have been instead of just taking it for what it was. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Again, with
People have high expectations. If you want the game, though, buy the game. If you don't want the game, don't buy the game. Either way, you can't go wrong. You're supporting the developers. They're going to make money, and they're going to learn the architecture. If you don't buy the game, that's good, too, because then it pushes them to make new IPs. If you like it, buy it. That's all there is to it.
Well, Nate, I understand what you're saying, Nate, with the games and stuff like that. But
You don't understand, or you do understand?
I do understand what you're saying about
okay.
that the games wasn't running like maybe developers wanted, but they were actually good games. Nobody said that the trilogy of Drake was totally garbage because it wasn't a steady 30 frames per second, whatever it was. I still enjoyed the game. Now I want to move forward to 4 and beyond. Give me 4, 5, and 6 trilogy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe another 7 years down the line, if you want to bring 1, 2, and 3 out, that's fine. I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? But the experience that I got off my PS3 with Uncharted, it was cool. It was fine. I enjoyed it. So now let me go to 4, and then maybe when PS5 come out, if you want to remaster the other 3, then that's cool.
Thank you.
But right now, to me, I don't even think we even need a remake of Uncharted trilogy. Let's just go with 4 and go beyond. You know what I'm saying? Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to they announce it. I want
As a gamer, when I hear this about the frame rates and the how many P's and resolution and all this, I just sit back and I'm like, really? Like, because most of the games that I own are 480 by 240 or or 720 by 480, and I love those games. And they're nowhere near 60 frames a second. And most of the games that I love and enjoy are, that stuff didn't matter. Like, to make that matter to me now, it's not going to happen for me. Is it a good game? And I think I have no problem with remasters or any of that stuff. I have no problem with it. But I think the problem I do have with it is you just released a new console, and you're going to give me what I had on the last console that I just bought 10 months ago on the last console? Like, it's too soon for that. I just paid $400. I just paid $500. I want the so-called next gen. I'm not talking about frame rates and resolution. I want the next big game. That's what I want when I buy the next big console. And if you like, let's look at Xbox One. I have an Xbox One. Let's look at Xbox One, PS4 this fall. What is the big games on those consoles that are coming out this year? This is their second Christmas. Like, what is the big? What is the game that says, okay, this is why I bought an Xbox One. Or this is why I bought a PS4.
Well, Little Big Planet 3 comes out this holiday, doesn't it?
And
but it's also coming on PS3.
Sunset Overdrive.
Right, we got Sunset Overdrive. That's one.
Transistor.
Drive Club.
Drive Club. Who's excited for Drive Club?
Not me.
I am.
Not me.
I'm not excited for any of these racing games right now. There's going to be better
I'm
ones.
excited for the new Batman, or did that get pushed off?
It's coming out next June.
2014 games
Next June?
look okay at best.
Like, that's all I'm saying is that's why people get caught up in this stuff, and because it's like like I said, if you bought a new console, you're waiting for the new experience. You don't want a game you bought last year. And I think that's why people get upset about this stuff. Like, I don't have a problem with remasters. I got a few remasters myself. But they're from 10-year-old games, not a game I just bought last year.
Yeah, I see your point there.
Have you seen what Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to look like when it comes out for PS4 and Xbox One?
One thing about Grand Theft Auto 5, they're improving that game. It ain't just a port. You're getting different modes. You're getting more players online. It's gonna be an improvement, I think.
You know what?
A huge graphical improvement, not just a little, huge.
Not just graphics. I'm talking about game, modes and just the players online. That's gonna make a big difference in that game for me.
That shouldn't be a big major release. I don't know. Again, I don't have a problem with them releasing it, but that shouldn't be like, oh, this is gonna be a big thing. That should have been something that came out in the summer, not for a holiday big release. You know what I'm saying? Like, there should be Sunset Overdrive. Sunset Overdrive is a big holiday release. That's fine with me. Like, but that's what we should be getting overall from everybody. And I feel like we're not getting that. We're getting told that, hey, these improvements.
They're holding a lot of.
Go ahead.
A lot of the big releases are coming out right after December. I mean, January and February.
Personally, I feel like the holiday season's a little way too crowded, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they pushed a lot of this stuff back. Like, the Order 1886 is coming out in February. You got the Bloodborne February. Those are two big games for PlayStation. Pushed Evolve back, all them games. But that's third party. I'm just saying, exclusive-wise, two big ones are coming in February. So, I don't know. I understand what both of you are saying. I agree with both of you. I think we should be getting more than, remastered, but they're claiming the reason they're good is a lot of people that were on the 360 PS didn't play it on the PS3, PS4. That's one. I don't know.
Hey.
Well, first off, there is some validity to that statement, and not just on 360, but across 360 and PS3. The last 2 years, the game sales had took a major decline for the most part across a lot of titles that were released. They didn't ever really make a whole lot of what they put into. I mean, although Grand Theft Auto 5 made a shit ton of money, you know, you look at like Sony's first-party titles, you know, the Uncharted 1 through 3, they sold decent, but they didn't sell like what, like, say, Mario does on a Nintendo platform. You know, they didn't sell 2 million copies of each game, you know, so I think part of the reason why they're doing the remasters is to try to recoup some of the losses from gamers just not buying games for the last 2 years.
Well, Nate, since you said that, I mean, the PS3 is what, like 60 million, 80 million? So
80
you mean
million,
to tell me that? But so you're telling me that even though Uncharted never sold over 2 million, now all of a sudden the developers, Sony is like, you know what? Let's put it on the PS4 with 9 million consoles, and we're gonna sell over 2 million. What we couldn't do with a console.
No, but they're trying to make as much money as they can off those titles.
Greedy.
Right.
These
That's the problem.
remasters are selling less.
Oh, Miss K in here.
Hey, how y'all doing?
How's it
Great.
going?
I'm gonna tell you right now, my
How's it
favorite
going?
remaster so far. My favorite remaster so far is The Last of Us.
Yeah.
That game should have never came out on
mine is
PS3
too.
to begin with.
Right. That's all I'm saying. That game should have been held back because it
Right.
was only a few months before PS4 dropped that game came out. So
No way, man, that game's fine on PS3. I like it, and they made
I
money.
mean, think
on
about this. Grand Theft Auto 6, or not, I'm sorry, Gran Turismo 6 came out the same month that PS4 came out, right?
Right.
But it was on PS3.
Yep.
They should have made that a PS4 exclusive.
They're greedy.
The fact is, Titanfall should have been an Xbox One exclusive. It should have never even came to PC. And I love Titanfall, and I'm glad to play it on my PC. But these companies, you know, Sony and Microsoft, they need to let the 7th generation go ahead and die.
they can't do that. They just started making money on the 7th gen.
Exactly.
They can't do that.
They won't do
You know
that.
what I'm saying, T?
I know what
But
you're saying.
they
But I'm
have a-
saying this is why they
They don't
can't.
have a large install base, and even to get rid of the PS3 and the 360, they still have a small install base.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they
So
can't do that.
you figure if I'm gonna put a game out, if I got 80 million here, and then over here with my new console, you know what I'm saying, I got 9 million. Which one I'm gonna go with? I'm gonna put them on both if I can.
Right. Both. Yeah, and that's
but do
the
you
thing.
agree
Like,
with, like,
I wouldn't mind if they would have put them on both. They could have put them on both at the same time. That would have been great. Like for Last of Us, I don't mind that it's on PS3,
Right.
but maybe
Yeah,
they should have held out
they're
and
just
put it on both.
Yeah. Yeah, they could have.
they're going to be giving you 3 games with
Give
Uncharted.
people a choice.
I mean, it's like Metro Redux. They're giving you 2 games for $50. That ain't bad.
Yeah, I bought that for the PS4.
That's great, yeah.
That's a good deal. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
2 games on a lot of these, and they're not full price. All of them. The
Right.
Diablo.
Actually, the Uncharted collection, if they do it, if it does end up being true, it's going to be 4 games for the price of 1.
What you mean
No,
the
they're not
PSP
gonna
one or PSP? PSP.
They're
the
not
one,
giving
say.
for
That's what
okay.
what's been being talked about is that they're bringing Uncharted 1 through 3 and Golden Abyss
Yeah, they might do that.
to the PS4.
They did that with God of War, so they probably do that.
Wow.
I mean, the only way that remasters are gonna stop is people stop buying them. But if
That's
people
true.
keep buying them like they did The Last of Us, there's a good possibility The Last of Us remastered could be Game of the Year the way it sold.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want the remastered stuff. There's games that were out that came out in the last 2 years of the 7th generation that I would love to see be updated and brought to its full fruition. I'm looking at it as a gamer, not just a gamer, but a gamer that does enjoy visuals. It's no secret. I'm a graphics whore, okay? I didn't get it. I ain't been a PC gamer for 10 years for nothing. And I love the new consoles because it's giving me that almost as close as possible to PC experience when it comes to visuals. And the games that came out for console that didn't come to PC in the last gen, I love to see them remastered and brought in and given that supercharged, update. So, I played Last of Us for a little bit on PS3, and it's night and day difference from PS3 to PS4.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the multi-player big difference too. Big difference.
And when it comes to Uncharted, since I never did play the Uncharted series, if I could pick up the entire Uncharted series on one buy for PS4, play it at 1080p, 60 frames a second, be able to play all through them and beat them in time for Uncharted 4, then guess what? That's a win for me. You know what I'm saying? So.
But the only way they'll stop is if you stop. The only way they'll stop. If people keep buying them, they're never going to stop. They'll keep remastering every game.
But do you really want it to stop?
Guys.
I don't really. It don't bother me. It used to at first. I don't care. There's a lot of games that I miss. I was a 360 gamer on last generation. I had the PS3, but I played my 360 more. And then towards the end of the generation, I liked the PS3. I
don't mind it if it's
so. I'm fine with it. I don't want all remasters though, but the more you keep buying, the more they're going to keep coming. Whatever sells, what they're going to do.
Right.
If it's worth it, like Metro Redux, that's worth it to me.
Yeah,
because you're getting two games. You're not just getting one game. Yeah, they're adding stuff to it and graphically, but for me, this is a misconception. Like, oh, Nintendo fans don't care about graphics. We care about graphics. Of course we do. Yeah. But the thing is, we don't have to have the best graphics to enjoy a game. That's what we're saying. Like, it doesn't have to be the top of the line, 60 frames a second, 1080p, for us to enjoy it. Like, we can still enjoy the game without having all that stuff. So you got to give me an incentive to buy it, a year later. With just graphical upgrades and some DLC and stuff like that, make it $20 cheaper, or give me an extra game in there, that kind of thing. Make it worth it. Is all I'm saying.
Look, bring me some of the games remastered back, from the PS2 day. You know what I'm saying? Bring back Onimusha. You know what I'm saying? Make Onimusha 1, 2, and 3. Remaster that. That was a good game from Capcom. You know what I'm saying? Bring me Shenmue 1 and 2. If you don't want to do 3,
please do that.
Those two things. Bring me something good. You know what I'm saying?
I think they need to focus on sequels more than remakes and rehashes. How about some sequels to some games that we had on previous gens?
Exactly.
It would make sense. I'd love another L.A. Noire, even though I know the developers or whatever happened with that particular game. Maybe they disbanded it, but games like that they need to bring back. Sequels to that.
Yeah, that was a kick-ass game. I love it.
The game didn't sell well, and Rockstar pretty much fired everybody.
Yeah. Speaking
of which, did y'all see the I think Red Gaming Tech? I don't know if you ever watch that channel, Red Gaming Tech. It's a guy from over in the UK.
Yeah,
good channel. He put out a video. I think it was yesterday, talking the Crytek producers had put out a response as to why they haven't thought about bringing Rise, Son of Rome, to PS4. And they said, well, the PC market, they had a lot of correspondence back and forth from PC gamers that they wanted it. So I'm wondering if all of a sudden, Crytek's Twitter blew up, and let's say about 7 million PS4 owners decided to, break down, Crytek's Twitter account and say, hey, bring over Rise, Son of Rome to PS4, would they do it? Would you guys buy it if they did it? If you haven't never played it and they decided to go ahead and bring it to PS4, would you buy it?
Nope.
I don't give a fuck about that.
I would. No.
I played it on Xbox One, and I'll tell you right now, I liked it because it was basically Microsoft's version of God of War.
Yeah.
Yo, wasn't that game
So
fighting mode?
the PS4.
Pressing buttons to react? I don't like that, man. I'm not into that. Like Batman and Assassin's Creed, I'm getting sick of that.
Yeah, I feel you on the Batman, especially. It's just.
Oh, you're not looking forward to the new Batman?
I kind of am. What I'm saying is, what he's saying, the combat. Yeah, the combat is a little. You need to do something more to it because it's kind of, it's you know, we're kind of reacting. You're not really acting.
Right.
Look, Mr. T, I thought you would be, Mr. T, I thought you'd be more excited. You know what I'm saying, for the Batman because you have an Xbox One now, so you able to drive in that Batmobile that the Wii U.
You know, that Batmobile is too powerful for the Wii U. So.
Right. That's a powerful ass car.
Oh man.
So you guys all played Destiny?
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Let's talk about Destiny.
let's
I want the podcast going long. Do you guys think it was overhyped, or do you think it's good?
It's overhyped.
Or not over?
Yes, it's overhyped.
It's underrated.
Yeah.
No,
To the person that said it's overhyped, when's the last time you seen the sun?
Destiny is the best game ever made. It's a masterpiece. It's better than Shadow of the Colossus. It's better than Tetris. It's better than Minecraft. No, I'm just playing.
I'm not saying it's the best game ever made, but I want to know how many of these so-called gamers that all they can do is compare game to another game, bitch and complain and say, there's nothing new, it's repetitive, this and that. When's the last time you was outside and smelled a flower? I mean, because I'm really starting. What does it have to do with the game? I think there is a lot of. I think Destiny. First off, here's my take on Destiny. I knew what I was getting into because number one, I have played MMOs out the wazoo on PC. I'm used to the grinding. I'm used to the repetitive questing because that's what an MMO is. Now, I know Bungie has come out and said that this is not an MMO, but that's called PR movement. That's called you don't want to piss off console gamers that really have no clue what a fucking MMO is.
Hey,
right? That's not that's not the gamer's fault though. I mean, they didn't market the game as an MMO. So that's their own fault. You know,
actually, they did market the game as an MMO slightly.
I didn't.
Whenever you go back to their initial announcement, they talk about a 10-year plan for this game and how there's going to be content releases, there's going to be updates, there's going to be new expansions coming out. Anybody play World of Warcraft knows that this is the kind of cycle that an MMO goes through.
Yep.
We got the expansion. We got the Draenor expansion fixed to come out for WoW this holiday season. And how long has WoW been out?
Yeah, but here's the thing about MMOs, especially. This is a problem with Destiny. It seems to be, but most people seem to have with it. Everybody agrees it's a solid game. But the one thing that it's really lacking in is the story. And
because we've only got the first part of it.
The first part have to at least draw you in. You can't just say, well, I don't have
Dude, I'm drawn in by I don't understand where people are talking about wrong with the story. I've been listening to this thing as I do each of the missions of the story.
You like the game. I mean, that's fine.
Well, we finished the game. We finished the game today. Me, vvolfflovv, and Old Dirty. And what did you guys think about the ending?
Man,
don't give it away. But
the ending sucked. I'm not saying that, you know what I'm saying, it could have been epic. I know that this is going to be a trilogy because it's Bungie.
Right.
But
when I
seen Destiny a year ago, when they demonstrated at E3 and was playing, I got the impression that this is going to be, I wasn't thinking about multiplayer. I was thinking about story. I'm like, damn, this is going to be a good-ass story.
It isn't a Bungie game. Bungie can do story.
Right. So now when I get it, there's barely a story there. I just beat the game today, and I think I've done seen, 6 cutscenes. That was it, and I still don't know what the hell they're talking about.
They fooled you with that trailer, because people buy into these trailers, but you don't actually look into how the game is. That's the whole thing. It's not that kind of
Well,
game.
pretty much what you are, you're a guardian, and you got to protect them from the darkness. That's what it is. That's pretty much the story. And you're a traveler, and you're going to, and all the other travelers are supposed to protect them from the darkness.
Okay. So let me ask you. Let's see how much of the story you actually paid attention to. The moon missions. Before you leave the moon, what is the central?
Nate, why do I have to pay attention so hard to the story?
No, because there are people, you know, named Quack Bond that like to play games and never listen to a fucking story. Busy T will back me up on that. He's seen the comment, right, T?
What was that?
Black Bomb will play a game and never listen to the story. He doesn't even read the story. He just plays a game without ever listening to the story. So people that are sitting here saying that there is no story, what in the central part of the moon missions, what is the storyline part there? What picks up in the story there? Can you tell me? If you can remember, since you say it has no story and that you've played it and you beat it, what is the moon mission story?
Okay, well, Nate, the story wasn't well put together to me. As I'm playing the game, it was not put together well for me. It was just, you know what I'm saying, okay, you go to the moon, and your objective is this. And yes, the ghost is talking, telling you, oh, well, this and this in the hive is blah, blah, Skippy. I'm like, okay, but damn, fill me in on some more. Like, how all did this take place? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
well, I'll tell you right now, the moon mission so far has been one of my favorite. The moon missions has been so far my most favorite part of the storyline because it shows this freaking big ass egg looking thing that you end up having to destroy. You know, and in one of the missions in there, you end up taking on one of these super fucking drone looking, you know, brutes. It's like fucking 25 feet fucking tall. I know because I did that mission today in the live stream, and I'll tell you what, that was a blast. But the story part of it, as you're going and walking through the level, the story doesn't just happen in cutscenes. It happens as you're playing the game. And if you're paying attention to when your ghost is talking, then you're getting the story. If you're too busy just bitching because it's repetitive missions, then you're not getting it.
How about this? People are looking at all the bad things, the things that they did wrong in Destiny. But
that's a major problem.
The gunplay is excellent.
Yeah.
And my two favorite games, Guild Wars 1 and Skate 3, have fuck all for stories. So, and I've put more than 1,000 hours in either of those games.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm probably going to put a fuck tons of hours in as well. I've already put over 50 hours into this game. And I mean,
what did you think when you started running into those super brutes and stuff, like the big Goliath brutes and shit? Was that not fucking awesome or what?
A lot of this game doesn't get old for me. I could do that fucking flying knee into people like 1,000 times, and it's still awesome. I'm like, man, this is cool. It's a cool game. I don't know. Like, it's not a great game, but it's a game.
And people that say that you stop at level 20 are full of shit. There's people that are almost level 30.
Yeah.
No, you don't. No, but the
problem
is, Nate.
And then you got the people that are saying. I was going to say is then you got the people saying the game is ugly, it's bland, there's no creativity to the levels. I don't know what they're smoking because when I first stepped foot on the moon, my mind was fucking blown. I was like, yep, this is fucking Bungie at its best.
Son,
you know what? You know what the moon missions reminded me of so far is. Do you remember in Halo 1 whenever you first stepped into where you met the spark, and then the flood got released? Do you remember how fucking awesome it was to walk around in that ship on Halo 1? We're talking original Xbox Halo 1. All right? Bungie recreated that feeling for me in Destiny. And you know why I got that feeling? Because I'm not sitting there with a freaking magnifying glass looking for every negative. And that's the problem with these gamers today. That's why I was asking, when's the last time they stepped outside and seen the sun? Because I think gamers as a whole are burned out on gaming because that's all they've been doing for the last 2 years or last 8 years of this fucking recession since they're all jobless and live in a basement or in an attic.
Oh, man.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, as big as they put this game and how they showed it off, that's one thing you would expect from Destiny. I thought it was going to be a great story, especially for the issue they had to Destiny where they showed off all the different. It was a lot of pages on Destiny, so I was expecting this huge
I don't
story.
get it. I love the story. That's what I don't get.
Because you're you.
Yes, they
different.
Everybody is different.
Experience.
You're playing the game, but it's not what you expected. Now, I'm not. Now, besides the story, I'm just saying the story.
Maybe it's because I don't go into a game with expectations.
That's exactly what it is.
Well,
I don't go into a game with expectations. I go into a game with a neutral aspect.
How do you buy a game if you ain't got no expectations on it? That don't make no sense to me.
Well, first off, I don't pay attention to reviews. I don't. There's been many games that came out over the last couple of years that got shitty reviews that I liked. Aliens Colonial Marines. Although I agree with a lot of the reviews on some of the points as to, you know, it was a crap game in some respects. When I have it on PC and when I play it, I enjoy it. Because the only expectation I had when I went into that game was it's a Sega arcade shooter. And that's exactly what it ended up being. I wasn't expecting Call of Duty with freaking aliens. I wasn't expecting some big-ass massive story. I was expecting a Sega arcade shooter because that's what Sega does best.
But a game that touted itself as a sequel, basically to Aliens.
Supposed to add on to the story.
I understand that.
Again, that's the developer's fault. They put out something that they gave people expectations, and they didn't meet those expectations. That's not each individual gamer's fault. That's the developer's fault. That's the marketing team's fault. If you had told me it was going to be some bland shooter with aliens, then I would have known what I was going to get. But you were telling me this is a sequel, basically, to that Hollywood movie, Aliens 2. So, and we didn't get that. We didn't even get a game that was...
You gotta look at the game for what it is, because the marketing and the developing is two different things. They're not the same thing.
Let me ask you this: how much of a potential do you think it is that what we got right now in Destiny is not going to be the Destiny we'll have in 2 years?
What did you say?
I mean, I see more potential in the next Destiny. I mean, this Destiny right here, this first one it's a good game. I like it. I'm enjoying it.
You need to understand, this is the same Destiny we're going to be playing 2 years from now, but it's not going to be the same Destiny that came out.
Well, I hope that the next Destiny will have a better understanding story.
You're not understanding something. It's not going to be a Destiny 2 or Destiny 3. Destiny, the game I've got in my hand right now, is a 10-year game. Just like WoW, when it first came out, World of Warcraft 8 years ago is not the World of Warcraft we got today. Gameplay-wise,
it's a totally different game.
What I'm saying is that over time, as they bring out the expansions, they bring out the updates, they tweak the systems, and they build on it, it's going to be a completely different Destiny than what we've got today. Because this is just the first part of the story. There is way more story to come, and they're going to fill those blanks in. They can't give you a 10-year game all at once.
Okay, so in the year 2024, I'm going to be playing Destiny on PS3.
Maybe not. Those that are hardcore to the series. Hey, do you think people back whenever WoW came out, do you think there was people there expecting to be playing it 10 years later?
Well, how is it going to be played on next systems? Is it going to be played on next system or just this system?
More than likely, as some of these critics like to talk about, they're talking about how this may be the last console generation and that the next things will be just boxes that stream games.
Like PlayStation now.
That's when I'm moving on as a gamer. I'm done.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? They're setting you up right now for this. Right now, Destiny is an online-only game. You can't play Destiny without that. Plants vs. Zombies is online-only pretty much, too.
Yep.
Need for Speed Rivals. They're all online only, pretty much, to get the
That
full
don't bother
experience.
me one bit.
You're doing it already.
Yep. Yes, they are.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Plants vs. Zombies. If you're not playing the Horde mode, the regular game, it's all online. The game would be boring without the online.
Not actually owning my game, that bothers me.
Yeah.
Me too.
See, I went digital this route. Like, a lot of my games, the games I'm keeping, I went and got them digital because I don't have to stand online at GameStop. I just preload them to my PlayStation.
Yeah.
The only thing that sucks is that it takes up a lot of your hard drive space, where I might have to get a 1 terabyte or whatever, 2 terabyte. But I'm fine with just turning on my PlayStation and playing.
Yeah.
Now, if I get a physical copy and it takes just as much space as to loading that game as putting the disc into uploading it off the PSN store, there's something wrong there.
Something wrong.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing to think about. And T, I know you said that at that point you'll move on as a gamer, but here's the thing. It just recently came out. I don't know if you ever watched Tech Syndicate. It's another channel I like to watch. They're freaking awesome. I believe it was Tech Syndicate. They had a video that they put out talking about how there's this new technology fixing to be coming out that uses existing lines in this country and like triple or quadruples the speed of the internet beyond what it is right now using existing lines. It's a new type of way of doing internet that can make it 3 to 4 times faster. If we get to the point where we're downloading at 250 to 300 gigs a second, or 200 to 350 Mbps down, and our uploads is up around 100 to 100 Mbps up, having a box that streams video games will be no different than having it installed on a hard drive in a console. There will not be a latency like what you think. And when it has it, like whenever the internet speeds reach that point where there's no latency, where you can see a ping of 0 or 1 or 2 or 3, then playing a game online via streaming it to like a Roku box will be no different than playing it on a console today. And it will be, in the end, it will be, you never have to worry about installing a game. You just buy the game and you start playing.
I mean, that's great, your utopia of a future, but the reality is that American infrastructure is a joke. It is a joke. We have to deal with politicians and our government.
You're going to be paying whatever they want to charge you for that connection.
And then how much is that connection going to cost?
A lot of money.
20 years at best.
We haven't even caught up to 5 years. We haven't even covered to. We don't even have the best of what we have right now. Everybody doesn't even have the best of what we have right now.
That's true.
You're talking about, space age stuff.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, you know what? You gotta understand something. T. Gaming is a luxury, not a necessity.
Well, I didn't. Hey, they can do what they want to do. I'm still gonna move on. That's my decision. I mean, that's what I mean. I didn't say that I had the right to have blah 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 blah. All I'm saying is that if they do that, I'm out. That's it.
You're not out. You'll still play your freaking Wii with all your old consoles.
I'll play all my old stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But they're getting you ready for the digital era. This is what this.
Or
this
you'll move to
PC.
PC is cool. Yeah, I'll go PC.
That's what they're pretty much. These consoles are PCs.
Consoles are becoming.
Yeah,
you'll get that new titty flops, right?
Hey guys, would you look at that? Destiny just kicked me out. Gotta reboot.
Oh my god.
It's happened a few times, but hey.
So overall, like, besides the story of Destiny, do you guys like the game?
I love the Crucible.
By the looks of the game, it looks okay.
Yeah, I love the Crucible.
I haven't even gotten into that yet, but I am going to go at it.
It's fun, trust me. Yeah.
Is it like the beta? Like, is it like how the beta was, or?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I waited till I got to a level 20 today, and tonight I'm gonna play a little bit of the Crucible.
Yeah.
If you go under level 20, there was people getting like destroyed because everybody's ranked up higher. I don't know how true that is or what. I've been seeing.
I wouldn't say that because I was like level 12 and I was still hanging in there with the level 20s and 24. So I guess you just gotta have skills.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You got no skills, son.
There you go, Miss K. There you go.
Mr. T took your skills, son.
But you gotta remember, a lot of people playing this game aren't first-person shooter.
Well, why are they saying that? Why are they saying you need to be a level 20 then? What's the advantage that they have over the people that aren't a level 20 in the Crucible?
The advantage is that depending on what your level is to their level, if they're extremely higher than you in level, you won't even be able to damage them.
Exactly. Yeah.
They'll have better upgrades. Yeah. Armor upgrades.
That's when you start taking.
You'll be getting resist.
All you do is just take headshots, Dave. You take headshots, you'll be all right. That's all I get.
Kind of like me.
I'm gonna play the
zombies
that I do.
when we don't do a classic mode, Dave.
Overall, who's finished Destiny in here? Like, just us three, or did you finish it, Miss K?
No, I didn't finish it. I stopped. I got burnt out pretty quick because nobody from Gamers Nation wanted to play, so I just kind of quit playing.
Miss K, I'll play. I didn't realize you was in here. I'll play with you, sweetheart.
Hey, Nate.
Yeah, that's me. You know, I'm straight up your sixth mate on the PS4, right?
Yeah. I need to get. Yeah, we need to get it in there. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get it in. I've been soloing all the missions.
Hey,
I soloed that moon mission that had that big Goliath brute. You know, the one that was like 20 foot tall. I soloed that thing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you were putting in work. That's all I can say.
Oh, I'm a son bitch when it comes to Destiny.
guys.
When I finally hit that level 20 and I got that gear and I step into that Crucible, they gonna know I'm there.
I know that's right. Yeah.
So, Miss K, when you said it was overhyped, what did you expect from Destiny?
I expect a little bit more of a direction with the story, but I know that, I still understand that, they got this is a franchise they're building. So once I realize that, this is not going to be a one-all be-all game, you're not going to finish this particular game because it's a franchise, so it has to be built upon. But it was just, to me, it was overhyped as to where, I thought it was going to be a little bit different from the alpha and the beta because I played the alpha and the beta. And it was overhyped to me because I thought it was going to be a little different from that, and it actually wasn't. It was the same game. That was the only thing I didn't like.
Okay.
That was a bit overhyped.
What do you like better? Do you like the co-op or the multiplayer? You think
I like
the multiplayer?
I like the multiplayer. I'm a competitive shooter, so yeah, I like the multiplayer a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you now another question? Are you buying the expansion pass?
I didn't buy it. I think it's a little too expensive for me. I think it should have been like $15 for the expansion pack.
No. What they're doing is the expansion pass is gonna be, you can buy it separate, $20 for the first one, $20 for the next one, or you can buy them as a package and they discount it at $35.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I may get it later, but I didn't get it when I bought the game.
It's gonna give you multiplayer maps too, and a story.
Okay. Yeah.
And guns and all that.
Yeah, the story's going to be expanded even more as the expansions come out. See, what gamers need to realize, they need to think of as new content, new expansions come out for Destiny. They need to think of those expansions like the way expansions are for World of Warcraft. You've got Wrath, you got Burning Crusade, you've got Wrath of the Lich King, you got Mr. Pandera, and then you've got the Draenor that's fixing to come out. That's the same type of deal that these expansions for Destiny are going to be like. And that's why I say, even though Bungie says it's not an MMO, they're just damage controlling because they know MMO is a foreign concept to those that have never played on PC. Okay? So they're keeping it, I don't know, console friendly in terminology.
Yeah.
But for all intents and purposes, it is an MMO. When you're out doing missions, you run across other players. When you're inside the tower, you run across other players. I watched a funny video earlier today while I was at the hospital seeing my mom. This guy said had a video where it was completely random. He was inside the tower, and all of a sudden he got surrounded by these 4 other gamers, and they just started sitting down around him, and he sat down, and they all started doing up and down right there on top of him. It was freaking hilarious. And that's the kind of stuff you do in WoW. You see all kinds of crazy shit when you're inside the major cities of WoW. You know.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. The one thing I hope that Bungie brings to Destiny, I want open world PvP. I want to be able, while I'm out there doing my missions, if somebody keeps taking my damn mobs that I'm trying to kill for a mission, I want to bust a gap in his ass.
That's not gonna happen though.
No, probably not.
Maybe another game. Yeah, that would be a good game though.
PvP, yeah, if they added that to it.
I wouldn't say that it would never happen. If enough gamers ask for open world PvP, it will happen. And guess what? It would add a whole new type of gameplay to it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't find people out doing.
Oh, every time I'm trying to do a mission, people are shooting me. Blah 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 blah. You can go.
And you know what? That's the way it's been for all the eternity on MMOs.
I didn't know this game would be like this.
Well, I seen some.
I'll be honest with you. I'd be one of the guys trolling people. I'd just be killing players for fun of it.
Well, some reviews on Destiny, some people say that it tried to do too many things, or it's trying to be too many things. MMO, RPG, all at once, and they said if it would have focused mainly on one thing, it would have been better.
Mm.
I mean, it's still a good game. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, it's probably the most fun that I've had in a long time with a game besides The Last of Us. You know,
yeah, I mean, I enjoy playing. You know, trying to beat those tough bosses. You know,
yeah,
it's challenging.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying it needed a story. That's what I say. That's a big thing to a game is a story. I'm sorry, that's just me. I don't care what anybody says. That's just my opinion. But the way they put it,
not very well. That's for sure. In my opinion, they could have done a lot better job, and the level design as well needs some work. But
hey T. T, you there?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that new 3DS, man?
You ain't seen my video?
No, I guess I missed it. What is your thoughts, though?
It's cool. I wish it would have came out this year.
Yeah.
But,
That's true. Yeah.
now they had who said that they were not impressed with the 3DS? It was some new news. Who was it? Old Dirty, I said.
Oh, Engadget.
Oh, really?
Engadget.
oh wow.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
said it's not very impressive from the last one. It's pretty much the same.
Mm.
I mean, I guess they was looking for, you know, a beefier graphic of a game to play on there, because the only thing we know so far is just, you know, the port of Xenoblade. What is it?
Well,
Xenoblade
Chronicles. I mean,
yeah,
that's it. I mean, what was they looking for? You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't really take much advantage of the new controls or nothing. The newer games that are coming out for it, I guess they've
I'm
played.
gonna tell you right now.
what games they
I don't
talking
know
about? 'Cause I haven't seen the games.
Right.
I don't know what it's gonna take. You know, if it's gonna have to get an act of Congress, does God have to step down from the heavens? But I want Minecraft on a 3DS. I want to see Minecraft in 3D on a freaking 3DS. Who is here with me on this?
It's not gonna happen.
I would love, Nate, I'm with you. I would love to see that. I would love to see it, but Mrs. T said it ain't gonna happen.
Microsoft owns it. It ain't
It
happening.
was Engadget wasn't completely won over by the new 3DS. Pretty much, if we're honest, there really wasn't much difference from my now absolute 3DS XL at home on the initial handling. Smith wrote, there are no games that apparently make the most of the analog stick, at least not yet. So they said the Monster Hunter 4G, the right stick was assigned to the camera duties, a role it shared with the D-pad, about the third of the touchscreen. So I guess that was the only game that really took advantage of it that they tested out at the Tokyo Game
What about
Show.
Resident Evil Revelations? Did they not test that came out?
They didn't make that for the Resident. They're talking about the new 3DS.
I don't understand what.
Okay, but the new 3DS will play old 3DS titles. So did
Yes.
they not test out Resident Evil Revelations?
they're talking about the newer games, whatever newer games they're playing.
What
I
newer
don't know.
game is what I'm telling you. I haven't seen any new games for the 3DS.
Right.
So,
Well,
The only new game that's been announced is the Xenoblade Chronicles.
they probably had games in the games that are coming out for, what is it, Japan, whatever they're getting. Aren't they getting different games than we're getting in America?
No, I think the only new game they showed was the Xenoblade Chronicles, which is nothing more than the Wii version ported to 3DS.
Well, obviously there's more games because they tried it out.
well, they got to put that in their article. They can just throw stuff out there, not give an example.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Engadget. They tried off some of the 3DS's, the new 3DS's games, whatever they played at Tokyo Game Show. I'm sure they'll have a video sooner or later on YouTube about it because it's a new topic. So, there'll be about 50 videos somewhere on YouTube. We'll find out what games they were.
There's only one game that's specifically for the new 3DS, and that's Xenoblade Chronicles. So I don't. They're trying to say the games that are coming out this fall. I mean, for the system,
they said,
what Pokemon
Yeah,
don't
they
use
said-
the analog stick? I mean, what they talking about?
there really wasn't noticeably anything different between the new console and the current console, the 3DS, regards to the handling.
So the
Smith
3D.
also took the opportunity to say that there was no current games that make the most of the new C-Stick. But he did acknowledge this could change in the future. That's all. That's pretty much the whole article.
Okay.
Hell, Smash Brothers, whenever it comes out, is going to make use of that C-stick.
Right. So I mean, that's the biggest obvious one is Smash Brothers using the C-Stick. So what it that don't make. And you're telling me that 3D, the new 3D on it, which you can look at it from you have a wider angle, a range of angle to see 3D instead of that little, you tilt to the side a little bit and it gets blurry. They got rid of that. You're telling me that's not way better? Like,
Yeah,
I'll
you said
tell you,
Monster
Mr. T,
Hunter 4G. They're making Monster Hunter for it, right?
oh, the
Remember
CPU
when we were
is
talking
faster.
about
There's more RAM in
remasters?
it. Like, I don't know what they're. This is not a
He
new
said
system. It's an upgrade.
there are no
Hey, T.
games that currently make the most of the analog stick so far. That's what it's, in parentheses.
Gee,
so
remember
far.
when we were talking about remasters?
Mm-hmm.
That new 3DS. Let me tell you what I'd like to see happen. I'd like to see the Metroid Prime Hunter trilogy re-released for the new 3DS. I would like to see Zelda's Skyward Sword re-released for the new 3DS. Because these are games, just like the Xenoblade Chronicles that ran on the Wii, these games could run on that new 3DS. And they would be epic, especially Metroid Prime Hunter trilogy.
Probably will.
Or Metroid Prime trilogy. That would be sick in 3D.
I don't know about Prime Trilogy, but I think you might get Zelda Skyward Sword and stuff like that.
Sure.
Probably.
But
You didn't like the Metroid Prime series? Pete?
I love Metroid Prime. I have the special edition trilogy.
What I'm saying is, those ran on the Wii, it will run on the new 3DS.
But that doesn't excite me.
3DS.
Is what I'm saying. I mean, that's cool for 3DS owners who haven't played those games. But I'd rather play those on
You're
Wii.
telling me you would not want to experience
No,
those in 3D?
I wouldn't buy that. I'm not going to buy Xenoblade Chronicles on 3DS.
Exactly.
Why would I do that? When I have the definitive
brother.
version on Wii, why would I do that?
You are just one picky brother.
I'm not gonna go out and rebuy a game that I already had. That don't make sense to me.
I hear that logic.
For a smaller screen at that. That doesn't make it. No.
Yeah, true that.
Well, Monster Hunter 4 was one of the games they played. That's pretty much the only one that I see in this article. So, I mean, I don't know.
I wish they'd make a Monster Hunter for Wii U that's specifically made for Wii U instead of like what they did with Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. They need to make a completely brand new Monster Hunter and it be strictly for the Wii U. That way, it's completely tailored to the Wii U's hardware.
But Monster Hunter again, it's like the Pokemon syndrome. Those are really handheld games, Monster Hunter is perfect on the 3DS. It's perfect on the PSP. It was perfect for that. It's not really not yet. They have to do some stuff to the game itself to fit it to consoles, I think.
I guess now that you think of it, you might be right. They never had a Monster Hunter on PlayStation 2, did they?
No.
Nope.
They're like Pokemon. Pokemon is pocket monsters. It was about, Having those in your pocket, you know, on the go. So
Sure.
that's what it started off as. It had to be a little bit different if they're gonna put it on console, I think, you know, as far as the gameplay goes.
I got a monster in my pocket.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. When it comes out, does it talk?
Oh boy. There was a lady present. Can we be respectful for the lady?
Are we asking? Dave?
My lord.
I didn't say nothing out of line. He's the one that said he has a monster in his pocket. I just asked if it talked.
If we got any more topics?
I guess two other games were Bravely Second and Final Fantasy Explorers. Was that on the new 3DS?
Yeah, like even if they were, this is the thing. Even if they were, because they're not out yet. Yeah, so there'll be games that you can play.
Yeah, that's what they played at the Tokyo Game Show. I guess that's what they're saying. Don't take advantage of the new 3DS.
What I'm saying is, why would they? Those games have already been in development for a while. Like the new 3DS just got announced, so why would they take advantage of games that have been in development? Yeah, sure, they can patch in, you know, the
Samurai Warriors Chronicles 3. I don't know. I'm just naming some games that could be Tales of the World. There's some. It looks like a lot of Japanese games. Sega. I mean, I don't know. Hero Bank 2. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the 3DS, so. But that's what I heard. They didn't take advantage of it.
Hey,
I mean, what is it gonna do? It's gonna now you can use the C stick as your camera. I mean, what are they expecting over that? I mean, that's what I want to understand. The game's gonna run faster. It's gonna load faster. It's gonna
nowadays.
It's gonna do all that. It's gonna run faster. It's gonna load faster. And yeah, that's what it should do. And now you can use a second analog. I mean, what else are they looking for?
I'll just say this. I'll just say this. What I think they should have done for the new 3DS, besides what they've done already, is either A, they should have put in a wireless TV capability to it. You know, like how cell phones can wirelessly transmit to a TV their image? Or they should have included an HDMI port on it. Because I would so love to be able to play 3DS games on my freaking TV.
Okay.
You don't agree?
I'm gonna cut this podcast off because it's been running a long time. I appreciate everybody joining. We can talk after the podcast, but thank you for joining, Miss K, Mr. T, vvolfflovv, Nate. I really do. Old Dirty as always. I really do appreciate it. Until next time.
Good hanging
Hey,
out.
Miss K.